What's wrong with the current framework in Sri Lanka? The views of global investors offer insights that can be used to determine the priorities for policies and investments aimed at attracting and retaining FDI. They also highlight the fact that the ability of Sri Lanka to become a destination of choice for efficiency enhancing FDI will require much more than investment in infrastructure and incentives for investors. Governments have a major role in building investor confidence through ensuring predictability and consistency in regulations that govern the activities of foreign investors, as well as protecting investor rights and ownership. While most countries strive to attract foreign investment, very few have a fully open investment policies. Restrictions on certain sectors may be in place for security or cultural reasons, and protectionisms can be used instead of regulation. These limitations can impede a country's ability to lure efficiency seeking FDI. Barriers within the legal framework may encompass policy decisions and documentation requirements. Substantive barriers could involve banning foreign indirect investments in specific sectors, limits on managerial personnel, and discriminatory licensing criteria. Procedural barriers may include obtaining investment approvals, registration, work permits, opening foreign currency bank accounts, and administrative procedures. In addition to the uncertainties mentioned, lack of enforcement and excessive discretion are additional issues that require attention. While the country's substantive laws and regulation may be sufficient, they're not always effectively enforced. This lack of enforcement can lead to informal practices that drive up costs for the private sector and undermine the efficiency of the FDI entry framework. Addressing these issues is crucial for improving the investment environment and ensuring compliance with regulatory standards. Currently, Sri Lanka faces challenges with its investment trade and related policies as they are not fully harmonized. The absence of a modern, overarching legal framework that delineates the role of various agencies engaging with investors and the guarantees for both local and foreign investors compounds the issue. Moreover, the lack of a robust monitoring and evaluation system hinders the assessment of policy effectiveness. To address these shortcomings, Sri Lanka must formulate a comprehensive investment policy that outlines strategies for leveraging investment to enhance its integration into the global economy and attain national development objectives. The BOI is a large institution with a wider range of functions than peer organizations in Asia. The size of its staff stems from the fact that the BOI undertakes a wide range of functions including investment promotion, regulatory functions, management of economic zones, and trade facilitation services. In other countries, these functions would typically be found in separate specialized agencies. So, what is being done? The government has introduced the Economic Transformation Bill to set out long-term economic objectives for the country. The bill aims to establish a framework on economic transformation and create key institutions by the establishment of the Economic Commission of Sri Lanka, Investment Zones of Sri Lanka, Office for International Trade, National Productivity Commission, and Sri Lanka Institute of Economics and International Trade. The key focus areas include improving GDP growth, employment rates, female labor force participation, and enhancing investment promotion. The bill will be acknowledging the crucial role of investment in driving economic growth, creating employment opportunities, and fostering innovation and technological advancement. Also, it will affirm Sri Lanka's commitment to fostering a transparent, inclusive, and rule-based system that promotes fair and equitable treatment for investors, both domestic and foreign. The bill also aims to abolish the Board of Investment of Sri Lanka Law No. 4 of 1978 along with related provisions and replace it with a requirement for all foreign investments previously governed by this law to register with the Economic Commission within a specified time frame outlined in the accompanying regulations. The bill also will mandate certain targets to be achieved. With regard to the FDI, the bill states that net foreign direct investment as a percentage of GDP should reach at least 5% of GDP by the year 2030 and at least 40% of net FDI to be in exports of goods or exports of services by the year 2030. This signals the intention to shift to export-oriented foreign direct investment in order to support the growth of non-debt creating inflows to the economy. However, merely setting out these targets are little use if the institutional framework required to attract FDI is not in place. So, how does the bill address that? The Economic Transformation Bill incorporates key critical changes within Economic Commission chapter. The main focus is on establishing a new investment institutional framework. The bill establishes a much more streamlined investment promotion agency, which is aligned with good practices. The bill proposes establishing an economic commission to streamline economic activity and trade and splitting the role of the Board of Investments between Zone SL, Invest Sri Lanka, and the Economic Commission. On the FDI front, the bill would establish two institutions, Zones SL and Invest Sri Lanka. Invest Sri Lanka would be the entity charged with investment promotion, attracting FDI, and facilitating such investments. Among other things, it will be tasked with identifying investment opportunities in Sri Lanka, promoting the country as an investment destination, providing information and guidance to potential investors, facilitating the establishment and expansion of investments, connecting potential investors with local businesses and implementing national investment promotion strategies. Zones SL would be the entity responsible for ensuring the development and operation of investment zones in Sri Lanka and ensuring they have adequate infrastructure. It will also be tasked with identifying suitable sites, recommending zones for approval, and managing and operating zones. The proposed bill also permits investment zones to be developed under public-private partnerships. It is envisaged to have investment zones with specified sectors like industries, IT companies, science and tech firms, high-tech agriculture, tourism and recreational enterprises, business services, and livestock ventures. In addition to these two bodies, the Economic Commission is envisaged to play a key role in this process. The Economic Commission is tasked with formulating the national policy on investments and investment zones, among other things. The establishment of the Economic Commission of Sri Lanka. So what are the objectives? It aims to boost the investment climate in Sri Lanka by promoting sustainable foreign direct investments, increasing exports, and creating more job opportunities. The Commission will streamline business processes for investors and exporters, making it easier to conduct businesses in Sri Lanka and as well as identify strategic investments that bring foreign exchange, export, and employment to Sri Lanka and make recommendations for incentives to promote such investments. It will assess the need for the investment zones in Sri Lanka and provide oversight for their operation to support economic growth. So what are the powers? It will establish investment zones with an independent regulator based on activity complexity, public impact, and legal compliance. It will drive reforms for a better investment climate and advise policy changes and attract both domestic and foreign investment for economic growth. It will also forge agreements, approve investments, and empower entities to fulfill Economic Commission's goals. This will also appoint committees, recognize certifying bodies, manage funds, issue rules, and take actions to meet the Economic Commission's objectives. So, what are the duties and functions? It will develop and enforce national policies to promote investments and enhance international trade for economic expansion. It will also encourage current investors to reinvest and expand in Sri Lanka through specific schemes and measures. This will also digitize and streamline processes to establish a transparent and efficient regulatory environment for investments. There will be alignment to trade negotiations with strategic export and investment objectives for optimal outcomes. There will be proposals targeting policy measures to attract impactful investments and also considering the establishment of investment zones to boost investment attraction. There will be regularly review investments and investment zones to oversee performance. Also, conducting research on trade and investment performance to guide government policies. There will be coordination with government bodies to realize Economic Commission objectives and also undertake necessary measures to accomplish Economic Commission goals. The bill not only establishes the necessary institutional framework to promote FDI in Sri Lanka, but also addresses various aspects of investment law. These include provisions for enabling and registering FDI, ensuring investment guarantees, promoting transparency in laws and regulations, and setting guidelines for dispute resolution. The proposed bill emphasizes key modification in these areas to enhance the investment climate in the country. The recent bill marks significant progress towards reducing discretion and enhancing transparency regarding incentives. By eliminating case-by-case incentive contracts as the primary mode of investment entry, the bill ensures a more standardized approach. Existing incentives for investors are safeguarded through grandfathering provisions, while future incentives will be regulated, thereby reducing discretion and enhancing transparency. Additionally, the bill simplifies the process for FDI by replacing a mandatory approval with a straightforward registration system. Transparency is further bolstered by the introduction of a negative list that consolidates specific entry restrictions. Moreover, the bill prioritizes investor protection by establishing robust safeguards rooted in international investment law. It is important to note that the provisions regarding investment guarantees in Sri Lanka emphasizes the need for fair and equitable treatment of all investments. Foreign investments are expected to be given the same level of protection and benefits as domestic investments to ensure that foreign investors are not subjected to any form of discrimination. This ensures a conducive and welcoming environment for foreign investors looking to invest in Sri Lanka. Expropriation is a crucial aspect to consider in discussions about foreign direct investments. It involves the state taking property from a foreign investor. The bill aims to safeguard against unfair expropriation by ensuring that compensation is equal to the investment's fair market value before expropriation, without any adjustments due to the impending expropriation becoming known. If market value is indeterminable, compensation should account for factors such as invested capital, type of investment, and adherence to international valuation standards. Compensation must be prompt, realizable, and payable within 6 months, and investors have the right to review valuation and compensation. Measures for public welfare objectives generally don't count as expropriation unless excessively severe. Land expropriation compensation follows relevant laws. Foreign investors must abide by Sri Lankan laws, refrain from bribery, follow tax laws, provide necessary information, and adopt to international corporate social responsibility or CSR standards. So what will happen exactly? The anticipated outcomes of these reforms are expected to reduce trade costs, enhance export incentives, and attract higher levels of FDI. By aligning international investment commitments with local laws and creating a transparent investment environment, Sri Lanka aims to level the playing field for both local and foreign investors. Provided there is a macroeconomic stability, these institutional reforms would be the foundation stones that create a framework for export-oriented FDI to be attracted into the country. However, these frameworks are mere preconditions for the anticipated FDI to materialize. The policies envisaged here must be attractive and inspire confidence in investors as well as be stable and not subject to arbitrary change. A sound framework creates the correct incentives. However, it does not guarantee success if implementation is flawed. However, if implemented successfully, Sri Lanka could realize its potential and transform into an export oriented market economy, which can compete in global markets and thereby put Sri Lanka on a sustainable path of development and growth, raising the living standards of all citizens. FDI is one vital cog in the machinery of growth. Reforms are crucial in ensuring this cog operates to act as a driver of sustainable economic growth and prosperity by making the country more attractive to foreign investors and improving competitiveness on the global stage.
If you are interested in seeing more content like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow Advocata on all social media platforms to never miss out on our latest content. Consider supporting Advocata by becoming an individual subscriber. Gain access to our weekday media monitoring of economic news, exclusive Advocata events, and more. To learn more, visit us at support.advocata.org.